It's also going to be on two YouTube channels as well. So,
Oh, they won't?
it'll be on two YouTube
Oh, okay.
channels as well. So,
Yeah.
I've got yours fired up. I believe that one automatically does a stream. Yeah, it says end stream, so that's good. Which I'm gonna have to exit out of the full screen because I gotta still check the one I'm on. So yeah, that started up. Go to Rumble. Make sure that I save the background on there. Hit start. They still do the freaking thumbnail for growing together on there. There we go. We got it. And so Rumble is up and going. We should be here ready to go here in a minute. Let me go double check and make sure the audio is coming through good. Now, whenever I ask you to say something, okay?
Okay.
We get going in here. We get going in here. We get going in here. Oops, got a boot going on. Okay, do me a favor. Let me wait until this loop is gone, and then I will freaking ask you to say something, okay?
Okay.
I will freaking ask you to go ahead and say something real quick.
Okay.
Say
How
something,
are you
okay?
doing, Roger? Okay. I, that,
Okay, there you go. You sound good.
okay, that's good. How does it register on the, what do you call it when it shows you the strength of the voice?
Oh, you're good. You're going up into the red whenever you say something, so you're good to go. And
Okay, and
Bob Dub said she'd be able to come in. I believe she said it'll take her a little while. I'm checking. I'm gonna check now real quick to see if what Otto said. He left a message. He said he can't make it. It's getting late, so he has
who
to.
said that?
Otto.
Oh, Otto from the UK?
Otto from New York.
Oh, New York. Oh, okay, okay.
So I guess I mean here in a little bit we'll just get started if nothing else. If we keep having any problems to switch this over to Jitsi like we usually do. Because
Yeah.
are you able to move around? Have you been able to explore?
Oh, yeah, I'm able to move around. I just, you know, I just got to remember it's not too much of the line. I can move around. And I got this little box I can put it on.
No, I mean like in the actual screen. Like,
Oh, oh, oh. Um, I guess, I don't know.
well, don't
I,
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
okay.
So,
I do tap to where it keeps that from, what you call it, going like it did the last two times.
mhm. All right. So
Yeah.
So we everything ready to go. I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back. Uh, we got about 8 minutes before 9. I guess that'd be a perfect time to start. Cigarette and do that before 9 comes too. We'll get your show started, okay? Sound like a plan? Are you there, Robert?
Huh?
I said, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's like I said, I'll start it at the top of the hour, and that's about 7 minutes from now. I'm gonna roll a cigarette, and get some coffee, and then we'll do it at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Okay. I thought you were probably talking to like Bob or someone. I would have responded, but I didn't hear. I didn't know.
And you're the only ones here, man.
Huh?
You're the only ones here. It's just you want me to grab you a soda or anything while I'm going up that way?
Yeah.
It should be cold down. Oh, I know you're in the front room. Feels kind of weird. So what do you think about this? Does it seem to be pretty cool on the phone?
Yeah.
The only issue I had with it when I was doing all that, and it's with Jitsi and Element too, is since they're browser based, they don't freaking leave like a freaking thumbnail on the phone to where you can just click it and go right to freaking where you want to go to. You know what I mean? That's the one thing this means. Go ahead. I got the cigarette rolled. I'm gonna go get the coffee and soda. And I'll be
Okay. I had to do that because it went back to the phone. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, okay, well, just let them know if they hear like a thump or whatever.
You now see right here.
Yeah.
You see another black space right there come in. That means somebody else is coming to the room.
Oh, okay. Someone did. Oh, someone just left. Oh,
How you doing, Robert? Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Roger went outside to smoke a cigarette.
Okay, but you can hear me at least.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It's Sunday today, so I've been trying to catch up with some of the sort of weekend things. Sorry, I've been so slow catching up with you, getting in here. Did you manage to get in okay? Was it easy enough to make an account?
I don't know. You have to ask Roger about that.
Did he do it for you?
I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah, it's nice. I like it because it has that big old house, big building or whatever that is. I see and someone.
This is going to be a bar in here.
Oh,
And
okay.
what we want to have is that you can come here and to support us. If you have a podcast and you want to have your podcast, you can have like something that your watchers, your listeners can buy, like a drink or a pair of sunglasses, or I don't know, fish and chips, whatever. And then when they buy it, they donate that money to you, but then it appears on their table so everybody can see that they've donated.
Oh,
We
that's
want to
neat.
have poker. There's going to be a Texas Hold'em poker over here, and we're going to have chess so that you can come and play chess as well. And I've forgotten the other games that we've said, but so this is where everybody will be able to come out, hang around, hang out with each other, support their favorite shows. And then when you've ready to do your own podcast, then you would come and you would choose the portal and you would walk through your portal that goes into your podcast, into your group with your friends.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Well, those are our plans. But we have to raise some money so that we can buy some more credits so we can do some more work, because we've run out of money now.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Once we start getting the word out and people start subscribing, I'm sure that we'll be able to get another subscription and build some more things. We want to get it really, really good, really professional and everything.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
glitches. Yeah. But we're still learning. Well, I'm still learning.
Yeah. There's a site on the internet where it's for worldwide radio stations where you get to listen to all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I like that because you get to hear what's going on, plus different types of music from each of different types of countries.
Yes.
A little bit you learn of what you call it, the way the country, the way that they like the music.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you see, that's the sort of people that we would like to have here, that they would come and join this and make their own little project so that their people could come here and support them. So this would be like I don't know exactly. It would just be like a communication point between lots and lots of different users. And it's just fun that people can play in 3D, Lots of people can't afford games. So to have something like this where you can build your own world.
Yeah.
It's just a nice thing to do for people. Yeah. So what have you been doing this weekend so far?
Oh, not much. Just watching the weather. We've been getting a little rain here and there, and being concerned about because they're for some strange reason, other people found out through the network of them AI machines where they're building the big buildings for them. They're buying up water rights from other towns, and like where we get our water from is Rim Lake Industry.
Yes.
And they are going around buying that up and all that, selling. The places are selling their water to water rights to them, and by doing so, then when it comes to the water, them places are going to charge whatever they want and all that, and nothing, it's going to cost even more, or however they want to do it. But
Kelly was saying to me yesterday that the water thing is silly because at first, when the center starts up, it has to buy a lot of water to start it. But after that, once it's got all that water in its tanks, it just gets recycled. The water never gets dirty. It's just used for cooling. So once you've
Yeah.
got the water, once you've bought the water, you don't need to buy any more water. So
Oh,
I can't
but
understand what this thing about water is then.
well, what they're doing is they're using it for coolant. They
Yes,
are.
but you don't need
Uh,
to get rid of it. If it's coolant, it just goes
well,
round and round the pipes, the same water.
yeah, but by the time it goes back out, it loses some of the water that went in. It gets turned
No,
into steam, and
no,
that cold water from West Frankfurt or from Rim Lake gets decreased in the thing and all that.
no, I don't think it is. From what I've
Uh,
heard, it doesn't get decreased at all. They only buy the water once,
well,
and then it's the
here,
same water, and it just
well,
stays in the pipes. It doesn't
yeah,
decrease.
but they have to what you call it, they buy up large amounts of water to keep the water going to
I've
the
heard that's not
facility
true. I've heard that
because
it's
they're
just a once. I'm going to have to look into it because I've heard that that's not true, that it's being misreported. It's a one-time purchase of water. And then after that, you just use the same water over and over again.
well, yeah, you do, but when the tank starts to drop, they got to replace.
It doesn't start to drop. There's no way that it can start to drop. It's like the water in a radiator in a car. You put the water in and then the water works in the car. And it's only if you like get a hole in your radiator that you have to top up the water in the radiator. Callum has a water-cooled computer here, and he never adds water to it, ever. That's the same water in the computer all the time. Hey, Roger. Robert was here.
Oh, okay, I got it, but
Hey.
it's got some other.
The phone keeps going dark on him. There's that hibernation too.
Oh, okay.
He's not used to touching the screen. Make sure it doesn't do that.
Okay.
This is where I got it, but it went. This got popped up on there too. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so
Okay, so I won't be able to stay too long, but Roger said you wanted to talk about plants, Robert.
Yeah,
I don't even know what.
Hey, who's gone? Oh, you're back. What's happening?
It's just getting too complicated for them. Hold on, go ahead. Let's go over the
Oh.
stuff and just see. I know what I heard what you're saying. If you want to call tonight, I'm cool with it. It's just if you, this is getting too complicated.
Yes, but you know what? You came. Thank you so, so much for coming and trying it. I really, really appreciate that more than anything. We tried and we've succeeded. So let's not push it. Let's go do something easier. Yep. And I can just hang out with you in Jitsi. Will you post the link?
It's up on you. It went right into the yield. Jitsi.
Oh, we're going to go to Ye Old. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll see you at Ye Old.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get this organized. I've got to. Oh, can you hear me? Robert?
Yeah.
You need to try to keep your hand where it doesn't go to black.
Huh?
Like you need to freaking make sure the thing doesn't go to hibernation and or just talk. Don't worry about it. So Bob Doug's coming in. And,
I can't really hear you.
then you can't hear me.
Hello.
Hello,
Oh, okay.
Robert. It's having brain
Yeah,
parts.
you're a bit soft, Roger.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's a little bit clearer.
Do the whole one off. Is that better?
Yes,
Yeah.
much better.
Okay. There we go. I swear this is getting more and more complicated.
Sure does feel like it.
It's just, man, oh man, he's up to it again. Okay, so I've got everything pretty much organized and ready to go. Whenever you're ready to do the show, Robert, let me know, and we'll get it all started and everything. It should be good to go. So there we go. Let's see here. Test your audio real quick. See how you sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Otto, how can you hear me all right from where you're at? Well,
That's not Otto. That's Bob.
I mean, Bob.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, Robert. You're very clear and loud, so it's good.
All right.
Okay.
So we are good to go. Let me do the countdown. Tonight, I was able to do an announcer script to help Robert out at the beginning of the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce it. I'm going to hand it over to Robert, and then Robert, you just welcome everybody and say what you have to say, and then we'll get into the first talking point. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, now.
Hi,
Good evening.
people.
No, it's me. I go
Okay.
first. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. thanks for joining us, whether you're watching live or catching the replay later. Tonight, we'll be discussing several topics that Robert has been looking forward to sharing. We'll take them one at a time, give each topic the attention it deserves before moving on to the next. If you're new to the channel, we're glad you're here, and we hope you enjoy the conversation. Now, here's my brother and tonight's host, Robert Hanson.
Thank you, Roger, and thank you, Bob, for appearing on this show. And we will be talking about different types of weather, different types of radiation of plants, and the mutations, and the progress of plants in other types of season. Like when
You want me to read the first topic for you?
Yeah, like the bacteria, like what different types of bacteria and that.
I can read the topics if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Get it going and stuff. So let me see where I put them things. I had them right here. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Plants exposed by extreme environments is what I named this on the talking point. So I guess that would have been the best way of saying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you were wanting to talk about research that was done when it comes to plants that are introduced to extreme radiation and stuff, and I found out that extreme research does show that plants are resilient to extreme radiation, often surviving doses that would be instantly fatal to humans. Decades of field study in nuclear disaster zones like Chernobyl and Fukushima, space biology experiments, and laboratory gamma sources testing have revealed the unique ways plants handle radioactive stress. Now, while humans can withstand around 4 grays or GY of radiation, many plants routinely survive acute exposure between 30 to 300 GY. Now, they had a key research findings in radiation effects, and that was the red forest phenomena, which is high acute exposure. Immediately following the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, the high-dose acute radiation killed the surrounding Scott pine trees. Their needles turned to ginger brown color, giving birth to the name red forest. And this established that conifers and gymnosperms are among the most radiation-sensitive plants. Then they had the morphological abnormalities, with plants growing in high contaminated areas often exhibiting altered development. Scientists have documented leaves with strange asymmetrical shapes, stunted stem growth, and a significant reduction in the size and weight of seeds and fruits, such as soybeans. I guess that would be a good place to start you off, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like with soybean, like what the do they consider like the what you call it, the material for the oil, the plant, how the plant keeps it moist and all that, absorbed up nourishment from the soil, and how the bacteria breaks materials down to absorb it into the plant.
Well, they said
create
that
more.
high radiation exposure damages parental DNA. It says researchers of wild carrots around Chernobyl demonstrated that seeds harvested from the high radiation zone suffered severe delays in germination and lower overall viability. Chronic multi-generational exposure heavily targets plant reproduction rather than immediate survival. So,
does it say, like, when one season goes over, when it gets cold, does it what you call it, weakens or increases the chance of better growth for next year when it goes through the seasons?
I didn't find anything that has anything to do with that whatsoever.
Okay.
But I do think that it does happen that over time, with the radiation content gets less. So it does get released, and then you go back to lower levels of radiation. So I don't know if that's related to the actual seasons or if it's just the decay of radiation over time. That would be interesting to look at, to see whether heat and cold affected the rate of loss of contamination.
No, I did find something out that was interesting when it came to that, though. It was called excuse me on the way I pronounce this stuff, but it's phytoremediation. The hyperaccumulators is what it basically is, and it says some plants act as biological vacuums, like sunflowers. They were deployed at Chernobyl because they naturally absorb radioactive isotopes like cesium-137 and strontium-90.
Good heavens.
Now, because these isotopes mimic essential nutrients like potassium and calcium, the sunflowers suck them from the soil and water and lock them into their own biomass without dying.
So it can absorb the radiation from the soil and turn it by breaking it down.
No, it just traps it within its biomass, and it doesn't die from it. It just sucks it in there and keeps it.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Where does the radiation go once there's been like a big thing like Chernobyl? Does the radiation go into the air, or does it go into, like when you say the soil, what part of the soil? Surely not the soil grains. Maybe the plant matter in the soil, the dead leaves and the dead animals, and where is it stored?
That's a good question. And while you guys are discussing all that, I can do a quick check for you, because now I've got it to where I can bounce around and it doesn't mess the video up.
Nice.
So we can actually do that. So
because I was wondering about that, because you hear about the radiation fallout and the soil and how long it takes. And when it comes to plants, when you see trees somewhat doing all right, you know how the trees, the oil from the tree, it goes back into the root system at winter time, and then comes back at the beginning of spring. Through the process, how does the radiation affect that?
Yes,
and
that would be very interesting. Does it penetrate into the seed or into the roots? to alter that for the next season.
Yeah, and that's what that's why I'm curious about that. And well, when other like like um, peanuts. Okay, peanuts puts hydrogen back into the soil, and I was wondering if that is the case. How has that ever been shown up as a way of processing the soil?
Now, I do have information on what you guys are asking about where the radiation goes to. Now, when a nuclear disaster occurs, the radiation itself doesn't physically settle anywhere. Rather, billions of tiny unstable atoms called radionuclides are carried by wind and rain and deposited directly into the surface of the soil and the plants. And over time, these radioactive particles undergo a dynamic journey of movement, chemical binding, and plant absorption. Now, plants do not absorb radiation. They absorb the physical radioactive isotopes like cesium-137 and strontium-90, dissolved in groundwater, mistakenly identifying them as vital nutrients.
How does that affect the what we were just saying too about the oil? What you call it when the tree drops it, oil.
See, when you refer to plants though and oil, what you're actually referring to, oils only that they're the ones that in plants that creates the fragrances. Like when you smell a flower. Okay. That has nothing to do with like that has nothing to do with like pollen or anything of that nature. It's more it attracts the pollinators so that they freaking come in and they actually pull the pollen from the plants and everything. Don't get me wrong, but they don't actually like send out anything for pollination. They just attract the pollinators.
Okay. Well, does that interfere in that process in any way?
Interfere with what, Robert? I didn't understand your question.
The pollination, when the radiation goes with the pollen, the oils and that, does it mess with where it sends out that odor to the honeybees it's ready to be harvested? Does it mess with that in any form or fashion? Decreases the value, the odor, or what does it do?
Well, right here, it's
what
interesting.
does radiation do?
It's very interesting right here because it talks about the chemical imposters where cesium-137 it shares like an almost identical chemical structure with potassium, which flowers need for photosynthesis. Now, strontium-90 mimics calcium, which plants use to build like cell walls. And when a flower drinks groundwater, its roots can't tell the difference, and they suck in the radiation atoms right up into its system. But the weird thing is like once inside the plant, vascular action pushes the radiation isotopes upward in flowers like sunflowers. The contaminants bypass the roots and get locked heavily into the stems and leaves. And that's the biomass. Now, the thing that's really interesting here is it's saying many flowers process biological barriers that actively restrict these toxins, the toxic isotopes, from entering the seeds or flower heads to protect the next generation. However, if the plant dies naturally, it rots it rots on the ground, releasing the radioactive particles back into the topsoil in a continuous loop.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
That
So the
is,
seed is protected. What you're saying, I think, is
Mhm.
that there's a biological process where the radioactive stuff doesn't go into the next generation. But the rotting of the parent plant, okay, so it would only be seeds that were taken and carried to a new location that would grow up healthy. Is that right?
That's what it seems like to me.
Okay, interesting.
And but what you call that? Methane. Well, in the car,
Yes,
oxygen and methane. You know how trees absorbs that up.
methane. Trees
Does
absorb
it?
methane.
Yeah. Does it affect that less of it, or brings it to where the tree don't produce as much, or well, what would be the case of that?
Well, what I found out from this is it says that when scientists use flowers for cleanup, they must harvest the green plants before they drop seeds, because the radioactive plants are then incinerated under extreme containment for a safety process into the glassy solid called vitrified waste for deep burial.
Goodness gracious me.
No, hold up, I got that wrong. That last part is then incinerated under extreme containment, or they're safely processed into a glassy solid called vitrified waste, and that's for deep burial.
Like what would happen when you take um, peanut seeds and you grow them in the soil? You hear about how it pulls to put hydrogen, oxygen back into the soil. Would that still work on that situation?
I don't know. I mean, like now you're talking about peanuts and shit.
Well, I was referring to about the thing about how it works with the soil, like it brings.
Do you know if peanuts actually do anything when it comes to radiation, or are you just kind of like?
Well, I don't know if the decrease or however peanut was what happens to peanuts. I don't know. I thought either way. I just know that peanuts put oxygen back into the soil.
Peanuts put nitrogen into the soil.
Yeah.
Peanuts put nitrogen into the soil.
They said that peanuts have been extensively used in radiation research and soil cleanup experiments, but scientists discovered they react very differently than sunflowers because peanuts are a major global food source and grow their own pods directly underground. Researchers have heavily studied how the interaction of radiation, soil, and heavy metals and radiation induce mutations.
Right.
So
they're trying to see if the process by which the peanuts put nitrogen into the soil can be used somehow to clean the soil. Is that what the gist of the research is?
Yeah, apparently that they were using it with Fukushima, the nuclear. They did the Fukushima nuclear research. That's peanuts versus cesium.
Cesium.
And following the Fukushima nuclear accident, Japanese agricultural scientists conducted a comparative study on radioactive cesium transfer in peanuts and soybeans. Now, because the peanuts developed their fruit which is the pod underground, scientists feared they would absorb massive amounts of radioactive
Right. I
cesium-137
see. Oh, I see. Okay.
directly through the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, surprisingly, the research proved that the peanuts are highly resistant to absorbing radiocesium.
Okay.
The peanut plant has a natural biological barrier that severely restricts the translocation of cesium from the roots up to the stems and from the stems into the actual peanut root. So
Good heavens.
mhm. So the
So, yeah.
study concluded that peanuts accumulate significantly less radiation cesium than in their seeds than soybeans grown in the exact same radioactive soil. Applying potassium to the soil further blocked the peanut from taking in the radiation. So
Gosh. So peanuts are naturally resistant to radiation. Now, cesium. So what was it in the sunflower? What was the sunflower resistant to? Was it also cesium?
now the sunflower, let me see, I've got that one up here. This one is actually the first one that Robert had me go through. I'm having to scroll up. Scroll up, Roger.
Scroll up.
Okay. Let me see here. I didn't realize how far I'd scrolled up. Now it says here that the chemical imposter. I believe that was the one where. Okay. It says when nuclear disaster occurs, the radiation itself doesn't physically settle anywhere. Rather, no, that's that's after that, I believe.
Yeah, it was around there.
With all them plants, the bacteria, you know how they say you gotta switch up
you're asking too much questions. You're just I'm still trying to answer one of the questions.
Sorry.
You said, yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're like already into asking another question and stuff. Yeah, the sunflower. Yeah, you're right. It's no, when scientists use flowers to clean up, they harvest the green plants. That's
right. Right.
Okay. Now, was that in the notes? Yeah, there. That could have actually been in the notes. Plants growing in highly contaminated areas often. No. Yeah, here it is. It's some plants act as biological vacuums. Sunflowers were deployed at Chernobyl because they naturally absorbed radioactive isotopes like cesium-137 and strontium-90. Now, because these isotopes mimic essential nutrients, potassium and calcium, the sunflower suck them from the soil and water and lock them into their own biomass without dying. So they lock them into that biomass, which is the trunk and everything, without dying. So the peanut, I guess, has a resistance where the sunflower just sucks them in there and keeps them.
Sucks them in. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so you could say you could plant sunflower on one side and peanuts on the other, and the two would work towards each other's goals.
Well, I would probably use peanuts for like if you're a farmer living in an area that was affected by radiation, which there are people who do that. They still live there, like in Japan. I would probably grow peanuts so that I could have something freaking sell.
Well, yeah.
It's something that you can eat that's not poisoned.
Right.
Whereas the
Yeah.
sunflower's cleaning your environment. But it's not really cleaning your environment unless you pick the green matter and take it and go and burn it in some huge factory thing and make some glass stuff out of it and then bury it in the soil. I mean, so it's kind of a not just it's no good unless you do the whole
Well, I was wondering too.
destruction thing.
Now, there's one more thing on here that
Mm.
goes into the notes that I underneath the sunflowers, and they call it cosmic radiation mutagenesis. They said joint research by the IAEA and the FAO involves sending crop seeds into space to expose them to extreme cosmic radiation. This intentionally triggers rapid DNA mutations to cultivate new supercrops that can resist climate-driven drought and extreme heat. So I figured I'd throw that out there too.
Mm.
What about like the garden that's growing up high up in the mountains? You know, the heat or radiation or however they say.
Well,
That's a
mountains,
different type of radiation altogether.
Yeah,
and,
you
and
know
besides that, with mountains in radioactive situations, they always encourage people to be around the mountains because there's some mountains even that has like minerals inside of it that can protect you from the fallout. So I mean, that from what I remember them saying that it was safer for you to be in a mountain region whenever it came to nuclear fallout rather than being on flat ground.
Gosh.
But that was old school stuff. That was back when Cold War was going on and everybody was terrified of it.
But I think that there's two different types of radiation that we're talking about here. There's radiation which is the transmission of heat and light from the sun to Earth. And then there's radiation that comes from radioactive material.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very confusing because we're using the same word for two different things.
Right.
You do get what the geographers call radiation of different levels, which means that up high in the mountains, because the air is thinner, more rays from the sun can penetrate. And so you can actually get more of the sun's radiation to Earth at the upper levels of the atmosphere.
That's what I was referring to.
Yes. But those are balanced by the fact that it gets colder the higher you go. So you need that extra input from the sun to sort of balance out the temperature there a bit. Whereas down low, where the atmosphere is thicker and heavier, more of the rays from the sun get blocked and get bounced back out of the atmosphere, and so they don't reach the actual ground. And it's very interesting because the rays from the sun coming through the atmosphere don't heat up the atmosphere. They only release their heat when they touch the ground. And then the ground is what warms up. And then the ground loses heat into the air immediately above it. But the sun's rays don't heat the air itself.
Yeah, but what you just said, when it's radioactive, is the soil can it actually absorb the sunlight like you were referring to, and then it goes into the plant with no problem, or less of it, or however?
Radioactive is a different thing.
Well, no, I mean the soil. You know, where the soil is absorbing the sunlight.
this actually goes into the second question that you was
Oh,
asking
okay,
about
okay.
with the soil, and I actually have that on the. I just did that on the Google search thing too, and it says where radiation goes in the soil. So
One more thing.
let me read this for you real quick.
Okay.
Now, the behavior of radioactive particles in soil depends entirely on the soil's composition, weather, and time. Okay, the top 6 inches, the binding, immediately after an accident, nearly all the radioactive fallout sits on the top layer of soil. If the soil is rich in clay or minerals like mica, the cesium-137 locks tightly onto the soil particles like a magnet. This binding action actually keeps the radiation from wasting away into rivers or washing away into rivers, but it makes it harder for plants to pull out. Now, the slow sinking is the next one, and it says over decades, rainwater slowly pushes the unbound radioactive particles deeper into the earth. Research in Chernobyl showed that radionuclides sink vertically through the soil profile at a glacial pace of about 2 to 4 centimeters per year. Now, the deep root elevator part is as the radiation sinks, a strange tug of war happens. While the shallow topsoil gets cleaner, the radioactive particles eventually reach the deep root systems of large trees. Now, these deep rooted plants suck the buried isotopes up and pull them right back up to the surface, dispersing them back into the forest floor when their autumn leaves fall. So, in places like Fukushima, the soil didn't clean naturally fast enough, and the Japanese government launched massive decontamination efforts by physically scraping off the top 5 centimeters or 2 inches of topsoil across thousands of fields, packing it into millions of black storage bags and moving it to centralized lined repository facilities. So that's what that says about that. It's weird that you brought that up because that's exactly what they're talking about right there with the soil.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird, especially when you're talking about the trees, because the roots literally just suck in the radiation and just disperses them right back up to the top of the ground again when the leaves fall. So
Does it say anything? You know how everyone says lightning comes from the ground. Well, when that happens, when the weather pops up, does it disperse, or what does it do when the electrical gets activated? You know, when there's a lot of lightning going on.
Mm-hmm. When there's a lot of lightning going on, it's because there is a difference in electrical charge between the surface of the earth and the bottom of the clouds.
Yeah.
And so you get a spark that just jumps. And
Yeah,
once
sorry. Yeah.
Carry on.
I was just saying about how it shoots up from the ground,
Yes.
the lightning.
It can
And with
shoot
all
up
that-
or it can shoot down. It's more likely that it shoots down
Oh, okay.
from the cloud to the ground. But then when it touches the ground, it gets earthed. And so it just gets dispersed and neutralized like electricity would. It is electricity, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if the Earth was different from what it was, then we wouldn't be able to live here. Like when that happened, it would just electrocute all the creatures of the whole world. but because Earth behaves like it does, it takes that electricity and it just, you see, inside the water, there are lots of different salts. And the salts inside the water all have little electrical charges on them. So when the electricity hits and it gets into the soil, into that charged water, it just, each one takes a tiny electron out of the electricity, and so instead of it being ionized, it's now neutralized. Gosh, that's just way too difficult for me to explain without a pencil and paper. That's something that I have to draw in order to explain. Yeah, but it's fascinating. So many of the miracles, almost the miracles of nature. If this didn't work like that, and if that didn't neutralize this, and if that didn't balance this, we wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't be here.
What type, like when it comes to sand, and hard, and like in New Zealand, the soil there, how would that work on either one of the types of soils?
Well, the different type of soil is different because of the different type of rocks that it's made out of, right? So the rock gets broken down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, and when it's just the smallest pieces that it gets to, that's the basis of a soil. So if you've got a black rock, you'll get a black soil. If you've got a white rock, you'll get a white soil. Yeah?
Yeah, I was talking about the radioactive, where the different types of soil is in with that radioactive and the plants.
See, no, what that has to do with it is like the soil doesn't actually cause the the lightning discharge like you're thinking of. It doesn't actually like discharge electricity out of the ground or anything like that. Okay. Now what it does, it alters the electrical properties of the environment. Okay. So instead of generating lightning like discharges from the soil, the fallout essentially turns the air above the ground into like this invisible, highly active electrical conductor. You know what I mean? It causes an ionization effect.
Yes.
That's kind of what she was getting at. You know what I'm saying? It affects like it electrifies the air basically. You know. So you've got things like they call it stripping electrons. Then you have air conductivity, where it's conductive.
Oh, contradictory.
No, conduct. It's conductive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Normally, air is like an electrical insulator, but when fallout blankets the ground, the relentless creation of these ions dramatically increase the electrical conductiveness of the surrounding air. You know what I mean? It just literally it becomes a conductor for freaking electricity. So when they have storms, they have storms. You know what I mean? It's like a conductor. Like if you use copper with heat, or you use copper with freaking electricity. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But this is intensified. You know.
Okay.
You're basically messing with the Earth's global electric circuit. If you can imagine that, like, imagine the Earth having like an electric circuit, which
yeah. Well, what would happen like well.
Well, let me go on to the next topic. So, why do plants survive radiation better than animals? Okay, that's what was one of the things that we were discussing Okay, and the reason why animals or plants survive radiation better than what animals do is because animals possess like internal organs that are really complex. And if a critical organ is riddled with radiation-induced tumors, the animal dies. Well, plants have a completely different blueprint that shields them from these biological failures. Okay, researchers conducted conducted in the Ukraine, the Chernobyl exclusion zone, um, showed that in northern Ukraine, what it was. Here, let me go ahead and just read it. Now, the Chernobyl exclusion zone, which is CEZ in northern Ukraine, is the world's premier open-air laboratory for studying chronic multi-generational radiation on flora. Decades of research in Ukraine and international science and international scientists has revealed fascinating insights into plant genetics and adaptation. The foundational study published in PubMed tracked Arabidopsis thaliana in tobacco plants grown directly into radioactive contaminated Ukrainian soil. Scientists discovered a direct dose-dependent increase in homologous recombination, a DNA repair mechanism. Now, the plants actively and rapidly rearrange their own DNA strands to overwrite and fix the breaks caused by chronic low-dose radiation. Then you have the flaxseed proteasome adaptation. In a landmark experiment, scientists grew flax crops in the heavily contaminated soil near Chernobyl power plant and compared them to flax grown in clean soil. They analyzed the seed's proteome, the specific protein produced in the Chernobyl flax seeds had adjusted their internal chemistry, producing significantly higher levels of proteins responsible for heavy metal detoxification and cellular signaling. Essentially, the plants learn to treat the radioactive environment like a toxic heavy metal stress, successfully generating viable seeds. And then it goes into the red forest succession, which I was talking about before. And it says immediately after the 1986 disaster, the active radiation killed the highly sensitive Scots pines. However, decades later, researchers documented a dramatic ecological shift. Devoid of human activity, the area naturally transitioned into a blooming birch and aspen forests. These deciduous trees are inherently more radiation resistant and have thoroughly reclaimed the exclusive zone. So that's the second.
So does a plant has like minerals and acids within a plant, doesn't it?
No, I actually did that research for you on Earth and on our show for Earth, and they have no antacids at all. Like I don't even know. That's not. It's not even a part of their chemistry, man.
Oh, okay. Well, how do they break stuff down?
Break what down? They don't break stuff down, Robert. What do you mean break stuff down?
Like you do understand how freaking plants do things, right, Robert? Like they don't digest food.
The the dead plants fall into the soil, and then with what the animals do, eating them up and pooping them
Yeah.
up, and the soil and everything, they are reduced to like a slime, a sort of a watery slime, which is full of minerals and salts and different nutrients. And the
'Cause
roots suck little bits into them, like you drinking a cool drink. So the breaking down happens in the soil, and then the plant just sucks in water that has got chemicals, minerals in it to feed its leaves. And
okay.
then it grows by what is it's photosynthesis, is it, Roger?
Yeah.
The process of photosynthesis is what
Right.
causes plant growth.
Yeah. On that process, that don't get affected by that stuff, does it?
Yeah,
Which
it
stuff?
did. It does. I just like read out tons of stuff that
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
photosynthesis. Now you guys have me saying complicated words.
Yeah.
Now,
What?
hold up. Now,
Mm.
the photosynthesis comes in the part that I was talking about with the red forest phenomena, I believe is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah, scientists have documented leaves with strange asymmetric shapes, stunted stem growth, and significant reduction in size and weight of the seeds and fruits, such as soy. Okay, soybeans. That's not it. Yeah, that's
But such as soybeans.
mhm,
It's just one example.
right. But it doesn't mention anything about the photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah. Now it could be in the phytoremediation part. Some plants act as like biological vacuums. No, that's for the sunflowers.
That's right. That's right. The way that they sort of almost seem to have empty storage space to put the toxins in the soil.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work about with vines?
With what?
With
Vines. Yeah, like
Vine.
grapevines,
Could work
watermelon
exactly the
vines.
same with any other plant. There's just one process. All plants do the same things.
Right.
It would be
okay.
interesting to see. I don't think that they found anything in vines. The only one they mentioned that they found it in was sunflowers. So I'm guessing that sunflowers is the only plant that knows how to.
I was wondering about like how long it grows. The vines do.
How long? Do you mean how many years they stay alive?
Well, yeah. How long and yeah.
Or the length. Are you talking about like the length?
Yeah, the length and how wide they get.
How many feet?
So yeah, I have a suspicion that Robert has been watching too many sci-fi adventures, and he's thinking that these are going to become mutated vines that are going to eventually like get huge.
Well, no, I was referring to like if that happens, less the vine growth or fruit as well.
If you go off of just sunflowers, okay, then you can tell what that would do if it's like the same with other vine kind of things. Okay, it would literally absorb the radiation in and hold it in. And if it's like every other flower or flora, whenever it decays, it'll just reintroduce it back into the soil that it's on top of.
Okay. So like when male and female flowers of plants,
I don't even think that the male and female has a difference. Like this has absolutely nothing to do with growing or anything like that. As a matter of fact, from what I'm reading here, it sounds like plants actually do better in radiation than what we do.
Yes, it looks like that. Hey, is that plant
Mhm.
material seems to be much less affected than animal matter.
It's
Animals
really
seem to
interesting.
get more mutations.
It really is interesting. This is actually turned into a pretty good
Well,
topic, but
did they ever, um, like what happened in, remember on that movie, where them guys works in Arizona chopping the forest down, and when they were heading back home, they see a bright light in the woods, and that guy hops out of the truck.
well, hold
Well,
on. We don't need to be going there. Let me go ahead and get on to the second one because
okay.
now research in Japan, Fukushima Daiichi site. Okay, following the 2011 nuclear accident in Japan, scientists utilized lessons learned from Ukraine to study a younger radioactive zone. Okay. Now, they found that trees exposed to elevated dose rates in the Fukushima exclusion zone showed a clear increase in morphological mutations, such as whorl abnormalities, strange branches, or strange branch splitting shapes. Now, however, much like Chernobyl, the overall survival rate remained remarkably high. Um, now, microbial mats in radioactive pools. Investigations inside the core structure of the Fukushima reactor or reactors discovered that life thrives even in highly radioactive wastewater. Dense, slimy,
Extraordinary.
dense, slimy microbial mats, biofilms formed by ordinary marine bacteria, which is Lemnobacter and Breber habdus, have populated the water. Now, the dense matrix of the biofilm acts as a shared physical shield protecting the bacteria from severe radiation while they feed on the inorganic metals of the damaged reactor infrastructure. So, that's all I got to read. I know you were interested in that, popped up, so I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fascinating. It's
That is
really
intense.
interesting. I can see, looking at the sort of technical, scientific side of it, I can see where some of these bizarre stories come from. It's like you can imagine, well, what would happen if you got radioactive slime and put it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just remembering what it was like to be 12. What would you do with radioactive slime?
Okay, Robert, what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, because that's what I was wondering, because like what happened in Arizona on when that guy did an investigation on in the woods area, how
Mm,
one side of the tree, the materials were doing better than the other side, and the tree, and only thing is the top of the tree got singed, but one side was growing better than the other,
hmm
and that's what I was wondering, like what you call the sap from the tree. If the sap just does the sap from the tree absorbs it as well and then goes back into the winter time, does it go back, or and if so, does how long does it last in the sap? Like any kind of radiation, like from a flying
mm.
saucer or the sun or fallout.
That's very interesting, and I actually that kind of goes into the next part of the talking points,
Oh, okay.
which is the space biology. And that's the cosmic radiation in Mars missions that's coming up.
Okay.
Now to prepare for like multi-year voyages to Mars or long-term habitats on the moon, Space agencies must figure out how to shield crops from unfiltered cosmic rays and solar particle events. Simulated deep space testing at facilities like NASA Space Radiation Laboratories, researchers bombard crop plants with heavy ions like iron or silicon to mimic deep space radiation. And they found that while high doses can stunt root growth, certain variants of microgreens, dwarf tomatoes, and romaine lettuce maintain their naturally integrity and can still provide vital fresh food for astronauts.
Good heavens. Please read that again.
They found that while high doses can stunt root growth, certain variants of microgreens, dwarf tomatoes, and red romaine lettuce maintain their nutritional integrity and can still provide vital fresh food for astronauts.
That's amazing. So we're going to be able to grow lettuce and microgreens in space. In gardens.
And then they also have the space seeds
Ooh,
breeding program.
Tell me. Yeah.
The International Atom Energy Agency and the Food Agriculture Organization routinely send crop seeds into Earth's orbit. By intentionally exposing the seeds to cosmic radiation, they induce rapid genetic mutations. Now, when these seeds are brought back to Earth, scientists select the mutations that accidentally made the plants tougher.
Right.
Using them to breed brand new agricultural strains capable of surviving climate-driven droughts. So, significant research has been conducted on how plants have been exposed to radiation. And that is pretty much what I pulled up on that. So I hand it back over to you, Mr. Hanson. Where you at, Robert?
Robert?
I think he lost his phone privileges.
His mind's blown. He just can't believe it. He's speechless.
Let me go find out if he is all right. He's over in the front room, so I will check real quick and I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. I should have things to say here. If I was more on the ball and more in tune, I would have something pulled up so that I could read something fascinating, but I don't right now. What should I ask? What foods are the astronauts going to take to Mars? Okay, let's see. It's checking what's actually planned.
There you go. It's back.
Hey, are you back?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking up what food the astronauts are going to take with them to Mars. It says that nothing has been, that there's no crude Mars food manifest that's been finalized yet. So they're still doing testing. There's no final Mars menu yet. NASA is still working out how to feed a crew for a journey and surface stay that lasts years. In 2026, it is running the Mars to Table Challenge to design Mars food systems and meal plans. The astronauts will probably eat a combination of food carried from Earth and fresh foods grown on Mars. Lettuce, kale, mustard greens, radishes, tomatoes and peppers, herbs, and strawberries.
No, I
Sorry.
think that would be a good start, but like whenever they get there, they're going to have a plan on exactly what you said, growing it there on Mars. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They can't be doing this transporting back and forth thing.
No.
Yeah,
No.
they're talking about what you call it, their own type of bacteria for Mars, because the 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 gravity of Mars is different and all that, and they would have to come up with a whole different other way of growing anything there.
Okay,
Well, I think that's why it's so important that we make a moon base and we don't go to Mars. Like, why would we go to the second furthest one when we haven't even figured out how to go to the first closest one? Don't you think that a moon base is a much more sensible option to go and test out how to build uh, greenhouses, how to make soil? Because you don't have any soil on the moon, do you?
No,
I'm kind of mad with NASA
Oh, why?
and all that, and because of the failed promises. So I get frustrated with it because I'm a 53-year-old man who was um, always interested in space when it comes to that, and
Mm,
like.
mm,
And from the time when I was born until now, they were talking about all of these Apollo missions that they did
mm,
back in the day that were supposed to be successful.
mm,
And now after 1985, whenever the shuttle exploded, they kind of like cowered out and went backwards.
mm, mm.
Where instead of it being about exploration, they're terrified. And it was like JFK said, okay, we don't do these things because they're easy. We do them because they're hard.
Mm.
Now, if when it comes to like when it comes to exploration, we're supposed to do it because it's hard and because it is a challenge. And we're, I mean, it would be really easy to kind of escape into our technology and pretend like we don't have to do these things, but like when we become stagnant, we die not only as a civilization but as a race. You know what I mean? We will
Yes.
we will literally die if we don't explore because that's in our nature.
Hmm.
And I think that's the scary point about today's world is people don't want to explore.
Well, I think it's just so sad that we've got the whole oceans full of
Right.
life, full of fascinating things, full of those underwater volcanoes where they grow shrimps in the boiling hot water. I mean, there's
Hmm.
fascinating things, but we want to go to stupid space where there's nothing. I
Well,
think that it's
it's just that too. It's that too, and then like
boring.
how we always talk about the underworld, all of the caves and how under the
Hmm.
ground, man. We could be exploring freaking
Yeah,
under the earth too.
yeah.
We know very little about our own
Our
planet.
own place. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, we've discovered everything on the surface, supposedly. I still kind of want to, I don't believe that 100% because there's land up in the Rocky Mountains where no humans ever touched it.
Sure,
You know, and
sure,
I'm pretty sure that that's the same way in China. You know what I mean? In
sure.
Mongolia
Absolutely.
too,
Yeah,
especially.
yeah.
So people saying that all of the Earth has been explored, I don't buy into that. There's other things that we could be exploring that's right
Hmm.
here in our own backyard too.
Absolutely.
So
Well, the thing is, it is what it is. People do the things they want to do, and that doesn't really always line up with what's logical or sensible. What we've got at the moment is a whole lot of people who are interested in flying rockets, not in submarines. So we just have to accept that that's where the rich people are playing.
that reminds me now, Robert.
Hmm?
you do have like a second part that we're not even close, or we're just now getting to. Now, do you want to postpone on this extreme cold weather part and do it in another episode?
How many
think
parts
that
are
would be
there?
best for me.
We there's two. We've finished off the radiation. Now the extreme cold weather is we haven't even gotten into that. So you want to hold off and do that at another time, you guys?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I
if
will.
it's all right with Bob, yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
cool.
It'd be
So
really cool to do another one of these. And
yeah,
but
I enjoyed this
unfortunately, I
too.
do have a bit of work that I need to get done. I've
Mhm.
got to learn how to put the Dude Where's My Wallet episodes up on a stream.
Now,
Quantum wants a live 24/7 stream, just looping Dude Where's My Wallet episodes.
hey, don't be- I'm planning on maybe doing that again, but I'm going to tell you right now that is very intense. I did not realize how much that takes up on the computer. Like I did I made it to 2-3 months on my computer, and it was causing some major issues.
Yes.
So I mean I had to really be careful about when. Sometimes let it stop and give it a break. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes, I've noticed that too when I did it before, is that it seems to cut out after 8 hours. I'm lucky because I've got an old gaming computer.
mhm,
Callum's bought me a new battery, not computer, laptop.
mhm.
It's an old Asus laptop that I used to use for World of Warcraft. So it's just sitting here. So I don't need to use my own computer to stream. I can just set this laptop up. So that's what I'm.
Robert's
Maybe that's.
gotten quiet again. Are you there, Robert?
Sorry, Robert.
Hmm?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I need to go and sort that out. So I'm afraid I have to leave.
All right. So
Okay, Bob, I said hi. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me on your stream, Robert. I loved it. It was absolutely fascinating, and I
Thank
look
you for
forward to
being
doing it
on.
again. It's awesome. Okay. See you again soon.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Robert.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
So I've got a cool outro for us. So let me go ahead and do that, and we will be done. So
Hmm.
so that brings us to the end of the night, or end of tonight's program. We appreciate everyone who stopped by to spend some time with us, even if you're watching this later. Thank you for taking the time to join the conversation. If you enjoyed tonight's conversation or discussion, we'd appreciate your support by following the channel and sharing the stream with someone who might find it interesting. We'll be back with more conversations and new topics soon. Until then, take care of yourself and have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. There you go. What do you think? You like that? Hmm?